because when you join, okay, when you join the bootcamp proper, we'll still revise them anyways. But we'll just go straight to the key important part of software development, which is the JavaScript or any of the programming language. Of course, preferably JavaScript is the language of the web, and because of the versatility of it, you can do a lot. With a good knowledge of JavaScript, you can do backend. With a good knowledge of JavaScript, you can do front end. With a good knowledge of JavaScript, you can be a full stack development developer rather. With a good knowledge of JavaScript, you can be a mobile developer. With a good knowledge of JavaScript, you can be you can be scripting some other stuff some other software even for desktop and the likes. You understand now? So
Yeah.
it's versatile. You can use it for a lot of things, right? So JavaScript is one of the common programming language which is highly in demand. Let me put it that way. There's a lot of demand for JavaScript, like some other language as well. And as a beginner, when you are learning to code, one of the language you should what's it called now? One of the language you should start with, not to get yourself confused and the likes, is the JavaScript because it's easy to pick up. Type of
Okay.
Scala and all those guys, they are kind of a bit, difficult to pick up. But JavaScript, you can relate with it easily and pick it up. So let's imagine the world without internet, or rather devices without software, right? If you don't have internet, if you don't have software and the likes, well, I don't know how the people in those days how they cope. But I do sometimes imagine myself in the days where there is no internet, in the days where there is no software, in the days where there are no devices, smart devices and computers. Like those guys went through a lot anyways, but to them I believe they don't know they were going through a lot. So it's very difficult. But now let's even imagine we have the software, right? We have the devices, but there are no software. Just like when you get your laptop, you got it new and you've not installed any OS, and it's just like that. Somehow you can't use it. You can only power it on, and it will just come on. It will never boot to enter any window. You will just know that yes, you have a laptop and it can on, but nothing. I don't know if you have experienced that before, or probably you have a phone and maybe the OS has corrupted or something. You can only on, you can only see that it's working, or you have a wiped phone. Let me put it that way. Maybe when you wiped your phone and all your apps are gone, everything, you just, there is no how you want to do it. You get to install software, you start installing this application, installing that application, you configuring everything and all like that. So that is what software brings to the board. That interaction, like how do you instruct your phone to send message, right? Your phone will
Mm.
not just send a mail. You need to like use a software, use a platform or a website to send a mail. You cannot just on your phone and say send a mail. Even if you are using the so-called voice assistants or the AI, you still need to go through, a proper scripted lines of instruction, which is we call program for the computer to execute and order. So software are needed to establish a human relatable interaction between users and devices, because software are just program that contains instructions, that is lines of code for the devices and the computer or whatever you are using or your hardware to what execute, right? So then how can we now develop this software? Like, okay, say I need software for my to run or to interact with all the devices, either on the server side, either mobile, either phone, either computer, either even your ATM machine, everything you can mention, your POS machine and all those things. Software is running on them. So this is where the JavaScript comes in, or this is where we say the programming language comes in general, right? So JavaScript, it comes in at this point. Okay, I want to develop a software. I need a programming language to write all these things. Like other languages to Java, Python, C, C++, C Sharp, PHP, Rust, Ruby, Scala, and the likes. JavaScript is one of the one of the software, or the one of the programming language that we can use to write software.
Yeah.
To me to write a software, for me to build a website, a mobile app, I need a software, and I'm using JavaScript to write my, software or application, whichever way. But they are still, we don't just jump at it, right? Is you start from somewhere, and that is what we call software development life cycle, like SD, software development life cycle. That's SDLC. Okay, so the SDLC stands for the software development life cycle. What does that mean? Analyzing, designing, implementing, testing, testing and integration and maintenance. Like, what do I mean by these words? Like, if you want to build a software, first an idea will come to your mind. Like, okay, I think I want to build something like Uber, right? Where somebody can pick up somebody, can order for a ride, then you pick it up, then you pay and all those things. That's planning. Then you start planning like, okay, how do I do this from point A to point B? How do I get people to sign in and all? So you plan it out. Then you analyze the things you want the app to do, right? Like, oh, I want a functionality whereby they can request for a ride. I want a functionality whereby you can, raise a security what's it called now, alarm. Maybe the driver is not cooperating with you. I want this to work this way, and all those things. You know how those things work on all your platforms, even down to your social media, Instagrams and the likes. Then you have to, software development is, if you just you need to, put it together. I want to build whatever idea you have, you want to build whatever thing you think, like, okay, I want to build this thing. You need to put it together. That will make it faster, easy, and make it organized for you to, okay, yeah, this is how I want my buttons to look like. And you will notice that when you are on other social media, even your social media, Instagram, Facebook, and the likes, you will see a pattern with the way the thing appears, such that if someone opens the app, maybe you just pass by them, you can tell that, this person is on Facebook, even without you seeing Facebook being written on their phone, like as they are scrolling up and down, because of what they design. Like, there is a way Instagram's buttons are, there's a way Facebook buttons are, there's a way your Uber buttons are, there's a way your what's it called? The lift buttons are, right? And even your Binance, if you go on Binance, you will see the way the buttons, everything's, the icons and all, the placement, the arrangement, and all those things. You will see how they are arranged, right? That is the design. Then when we come to the implementation, that's where you write the actual coding. Like, go and get your hands dirty proper. Like, okay, now, I want to write the code. When this person press this button, what should happen? When you open your Instagram and you just see news feed or reels loading and all those things, it's not magic, and it's neither a rocket science, I must tell you. It's scripts, it's things that they have been written, the programs that have been written. Okay, when this thing app opens, oh yeah, load new reels related to what this person has saved, their interest and stuff like that in the past. You understand now? So that is the implementation. It entails more than this and all. And this is where your JavaScript, you'll be using your JavaScript to just script everything, both on the front end and the back end and every end, right? Then testing and integration. When it comes to the testing and integration, it has to do with, you've written the software. Maybe today you implemented the real feature, like I just mentioned, like, okay, when the person open up the app, let it load new reels for them and use feed and all like that. Then you test it after you've written it. Okay, it's working. It worked on your computer. When you wrote it, when you did write the program, it worked. You need to also give it to people before you launch it, before you push it to the masses. You have millions of people on your waiting list, right? You need to test it very well in-house. Imagine you want to use your what's it called, your banking app, maybe probably Pampay and the likes. Then you send money to someone, and it's someone else that is receiving the money, or everything is just mixed up, right? You don't try that with Nigerians, because Nigerians. So you have to have tested it in-house, right? So testing and integration, that's where it comes in. You release it. At this point is when you release the app to App Store, Play Store, if it is website, you deploy it on the what's it called, hosting platform, on the server and all those things. You deploy the backend and everything. And if it is web and if it's a it is hardware, all these wearables too. The same thing you do. Then maintenance as well. Of course, you keep maintaining this, adding new features, you know, getting feedback from people like, okay, maybe you should move this to one side, move this one to other side. We enjoy it this way than this way, and all those things. Those are the things that comes to the board there. So when we talk about software development, planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing, integration, and maintenance. Okay, so software development life cycle and is the process that you use to develop software industry that the software industry use to analyze, develop, test any piece of developed software. Just that's just it. And this is what every big organization out there, this is what they use. Like they follow this software development life cycle a lot. And I've been on a lot of team whereby we are developing something and you see this guy, somebody is designing the interface, how everything will look, then who will be implementing as as a software developer will be implementing, writing the codes and everything and all. So, and when it comes to this industry, you can when you get to when you grow to an extent, you work on some team, you have to work with people. Imagine the people that developed your what's it called now? Your Mortal Kombat, your PES, all those games now, for instance.
Mm.
It's not a one-man job because of the time, one, and because of it will be becoming too much of workload for one person to do. Imagine you are the one writing script for selecting player, changing players, this one, that one. Even let's even go back to social media. Instagram, they have a lot of engineers. Some will
Yes.
just be working on news feeds and the like. Some will just be working on, user interaction. Some will be working on the chat. Inside your Instagram, you can chat as well. That DM thing.
Mm.
Some engineer will be in charge of that thing so that it will what like synchronize. Like, okay, when you send me a message, I get a chat, I get it, you get mine, we'll be working in sync. Even that chat now, some engineer will be assigned to just working on the voice notes alone. Let's us be able to send voice notes and some other thing. And even lately, I saw something on Instagram when you send somebody message and you double tap, or maybe I think an emoji or something. When you triple tap on it, it will show you game like all these what's it called, brick game. You'll be tapping, you'll be dodging that thing. There's a game inside. So a lot of things going on in there that it's when the software becomes so big, it may be too much of workload for one man. Like last year I was on a team. I was the only front end engineer there. They had a back end engineer. I was the only front end engineer. And what we were building is something so robust. It's just this app Glovo, something like Glovo. It's just robust. So the workload was like, man, was heavy on me at the point I had to like, guys, I need helping hands. And you know I had to bring in people that even me have trained, like, okay, I need more hands on this project, I can't do it alone. And I have people I've trusted, that I trusted that, okay, I trained this person, they're as good as I am here, I can bring them on board and we can work together on this. So that's it. Then let's come back to our JavaScript, right? The industry is interesting. JavaScript, also known as ECMAScript, is a programming language actually. So just like the way we have, our English language, Igbo, French, Spanish, and the likes, just the way we have lexicals, dictionary, grammar, part of speech, and so on. The same way we have with JavaScript. Okay, and the important thing is when you want to learn a language, right? Let's not say
Mm.
programming language, a normal language. When you want to learn it, you start learning it by actually understanding their part of speech, their lexicals, dictionary, grammars, and the likes. When you want to learn English now, when you're teaching a kid English, at the point you start teaching them like, oh, this is a noun, these are noun objects. You start taking them objects like chair, table, apple, fruit, all those things that then after they've learned all those, they've understood it, then you start adding like an apple, a ball, and all those things, right? Then from there you advance to teach them how to combine those things together and the like. So same thing with JavaScript. Like you have to, understand it, like the bit by bit of it. We have syntax. There is a way you write things. There's a way you write your lines of code, right? There's a way you script your functions. We have data types. We have the primitive data types. We have the reference data types, right? So those things, you understanding them later on, that's what will now enable you to now build a big a something big. It's just like we have not learned how to even construct a simple sentence. Now you want to be writing a book, you want to be writing a novel, you want to be writing a textbook, right? But when you are able to write a simple sentence, or you're able to write a word, spell it correctly, you write a simple sentence, you write a compound sentence, then you can write a paragraph, then you can pick up, write a page, and those are the things they were doing to you in secondary school, perhaps, where your teacher will be like, write an essay, no, not 500 words, right? And you'll be like, why should I write 1,500 words, right? And you go and you start writing and writing and writing and writing. Why can you do that? Because you've started from one when you were writing just 2 letters word, one 5 letters word, then you're writing a whole sentence, then you're writing paragraph, then from there you can write a whole lot of. When you are able to write a simple statement, right? Because these things, the lines of code, you are writing in statements, line by line, they are statements that the computer will go through line by line and execute, right? Write a simple declaration of variable. Okay, you know your data type, you know number, you know how to declare a number, you know how to assign a number as a variable, you know how to, you can identify string, you know what you do with string and what you don't do, the methods you apply on string, the methods you apply on numbers, and the things you can do with them. Then you understand your array and the likes, objects and the likes, none, undefined, and those things. It makes life easy for you. Then from there, you can write a function, right? Control statement, whereby you can condition thing and say, okay, you know what? If if this if this user likes this post, right? If you like this post, next time load more of related posts like this. Otherwise, that is, if this person does not like this post you are bringing for the first time for them, maybe they don't like the creator of that post, maybe they don't like the owner of the page, or the user, or the person, you are not following the person, they just brought it randomly for you, and it happens when you don't like it. Somehow they might not bring that person's reels to you again because you don't like it. In fact, you don't even stay much, you just scroll past it immediately. They brought it, like they will not bring it for you often, like the ones that they know that you take your time, you watch it finish, you like, you even share, right? So that's control flow. Write your functions, then classes, then modules. By the time you start exporting one modules from one place to another, connecting your back end, front end together, making API calls, writing things, doing authentication, login, and all those things, you will be then it has become like the big book you are writing, the big essay you are writing. Okay, but everything still boils down to you being able to write the simple statement. Okay, everything boils down to you being able to write the simple statement. So with the JavaScript now, I believe you have your what's it called? You have your code editor, which is the Nelly. Are you there? Hello.
I'm with you, yes.
Okay. Leon Lewis, are you there as well? I don't think Leon Lewis can hear me, anyways. So do you have your what's it called? Your VS Code installed? Because
Yes,
before you
I
can
have
write
it.
anything, good, good.
I have.
So w- that means we can get at it. Actually, we can get at it so that we keep moving together. So let's um
Excuse me,
let's look at.
excuse me, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. I have VS Code and I have X Code. And I don't know what is this S Code for. I heard that it's
Since you are
for
on since you are on Mac, right?
uh yes.
Yeah, so you will definitely have S code, but it's not S code you used to write. If you are writing Flutter, sorry, if you are writing Kotlin or something like that, you may need to write it on the S code. But since you are writing, you are not writing Kotlin and the likes, those old and programming language like that, you don't necessarily need S code. Even by the time we start writing, developing mobile apps, you will not need S code. The only place you will need S code is maybe when you want to compile. You will write your everything in JavaScript. Then by the time you want to compile your app, you may use Xcode to just compile. That's all.
Okay,
You
okay.
understand now? Mm.
Yes.
So, so we'll be using VS Code because number one, VS Code is the industry standard. What's it called now? Code editor. A lot of companies, organizations, they use VS Code. That is, even their in-house engineers uses VS Code. So we also will use VS Code. So we'll be starting with the what's it called now? The most simplest concept. Let me put it that way. The most simplest concept of JavaScript, like I have on this screen, I'm showing you, is the data types. From how do you even identify those data types? And I believe you will be able to, get it once and for all and understand. In case if this meeting ends, you don't need to panic. We are rejoining. Rejoining, though we came like we had technical issues earlier. I think you were not hearing me clearly and all that, but then we will still make do of it and all. We'll get something out of it. Don't worry. So we'll start with that. How you can identify those things and cannot get overwhelmed. Like when you see a doctor write prescription for you, be like, oh man, I don't know what this person has written. So same thing when a doctor sees what you are writing. If they have not been trained to understand code, they will just be looking from today tomorrow. They will not understand it. Forget that they are medical doctors. They will not understand. And if to you that you are also learning to code and you are good at it, if you carry the medical whatever prescription notes, you won't understand it because you have not been trained to, in that line, right? That is how those things work. So let me switch my screen to. I'll be switching between the two screens. We can have something. So let me know when you can see my screen again. Can you see my screen again? Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It, the,
So is what?
it's still popping up.
Okay, still popping up. All right.
All right, I've seen it.
Okay, good. So Nelly, do you have Node installed on your system?
Yes, I have it for my system.
Node on your system.
Which node is that?
Node.js. Do you have Node.js on your system?
No, no, no. How do I do that?
We say after the class, I will send you a link and I'll put you through how you can install Node.js and activate it on your system so that you can run some scripts even without having to, be in the. So I believe you know how to create your files and the likes. So let's look at data type, JavaScript data type. So the way our learning is here is that we do not theory or just teach you data type, teach you whatever, whatever. You also as well be building a project. Since this is a, you guys, we are not seeing one on one yet, so we might not start building together. I might be the only one just building to show you some stuff. But by the time you come, we'll be building stuff together. We have a lot of things we can build, like that we have built in the past, that I'm still building with people, my students, and of course, that you can you also learn how to build. Like I said earlier, those things are not rocket what science. So when we talk about data typing JavaScript, we have two main category of them, which is the primitive data type. I will explain what primitive means. Okay, primitive data type. Data type. I know it's a put a red line under it. Data type, and the other one is the reference data type. Okay, so for the primitive, okay, for the primitive data type, they are very simple, okay, and they are relatable. So we'll take them first. Remember from what the preamble I said, or I spoke about earlier, and I related this to what the normal English language, that or every other language. You can like every other language rather. I said you can have what's it called now? You can learn them. You will learn them like bit by bit at the point we're learning nouns and like so. Same thing we are doing here to help you actually understand these things. Okay, so one of the primitive data type is your number. Okay, you have numbers, and by number we mean the what's it called now? Just the numbers you are used to, that figure, that figure, that your 1, 2, 0, and like so. When we talk about the data type of number in JavaScript, it boils down to are not exactly the same way we have it or we generally accept it in mathematics. Okay, sometimes in mathematics, in some foundational mathematics, you tell you zero is when it comes to programming, even zero means a lot. Zero means what? A lot in programming. Okay, likewise some negative number, right? They mean a lot. So when we talk about numbers, those ones means a lot to us. Like in fact, you can assign something and put it to be zero initially, then you can start counting from there, right? You will wonder why sometimes you open your OPay, maybe perhaps you've finished your the old money you transferred there for maybe upkeep or whatever, and you'll be seeing sorry, zero zero something there, right? Those are that type of number, and the zero there is very significant because it's important to your account, right? If they put minus something there, there'll be a problem. And if you have zero zero something and they are putting by mistake, their system puts money maybe 1000, like maybe tens of thousands or something there for you, and you withdraw your money, the bank is running at loss because they are running at loss. You don't actually have what they accidentally or due to system error put there for you. So we have the number, right? Number, we have number. Then we have just first list all of them, then I will use them. Number, string. So number like one, oh, sorry, let me start from zero since I said the zero is very important actually, or significant rather. 1, 2, 3, etc. like that. Okay. Then string. Okay. String is another primitive. Why are we calling them primitive? We call them primitive because they are the basic data type. Okay. They are what? Basic data type. They are the, the the fragments data type kind of thing. Because by the time you have the when you get to the reference data type, you will be seeing some of these things even inside the reference data type, which I will show you shortly. So string. And when we talk about string, the normal way in your English or whatever, let's say you want to write this is my computer now, this is my computer, or let me write this on on a new line. I'll just use a var or const. Let's let my word, for instance, my word, right, equals to, or this is my computer. Yeah. Okay. So now, what is going on here, right? There is an issue. Number one, I'm doing something that is against the syntax. Remember, I said something about syntax. Okay, I want to write words like this. In JavaScript, you can just come and just write word down like you are just writing sentences or writing word in your English language, and or you are in your Microsoft Office or Google Doc, you are just typing words out like this. It doesn't work like that, right? It will be throwing you error. You can see the way it's just underlining this and that for me here, right? Because I'm already against the syntax. If I'm to write this now, right? The reason why it's seen this way is, number one, it doesn't recognize it. JavaScript doesn't recognize this. I said this is my script.js. I already said I'm writing JavaScript. Then I'm doing this. It doesn't recognize it. Like, okay, hey man, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do on this line 7? You say let, okay, I understand let. You can see that one. It's not underlined. Okay, my word, I'm assigning it as a variable. Okay, oh yeah, okay, equals to, then I just started writing a sentence and be like, it doesn't understand it. So the only way JavaScript will understand this word, either as a sentence, either a collection of word or a single word, is for me to, even if it's just one letter, it's for me to put it what as a string. So string are usually what collection of words in quotes. So how do I pass that as a string? You put quotes here, then you wrap it in a quote like this. So from your knowledge of HTML, I believe you will still remember, something wrapping something like having a parent, an element being a child element to another element and all that, right? Do you still remember all those things?
Yes,
When the
yes.
parents is wrapping the children good. So something like that, just transfer the knowledge to what we are having here, or what we have here rather. So you make sure you enclose this word, and you can see immediately I enclosed it. No issue. JavaScript now recognize it. That okay, I think I understand what this man is trying to do on this line. He's saying let word then is a string. And now JavaScript can actually even see it as word, like the words that they mean, the words that they are in the actual sense, right? JavaScript cannot see it and treat it properly, and I can do one or two with it, okay, which we will still get to. So this is a string here. This is a string here. This let my word, forget it for now. I will still explain what this means. Actually, I'm doing a variable assignment, assignment operation going on here. Anyways, but then we have not gotten to the operation yet. So, but what I have here, highlighted here, is now a string. So my what's it called now? Understand what I'm trying to say. The this is a data I'm passing here is actually what? A string. Okay. So we have another one too, or also rather, as a primitive data type, which is the boolean. Okay. Another primitive data type is the boolean. By boolean, it means true or false. And at this point, I'm going to, explain something to you. Remember the other time I said any words at all you want to write, somehow you should what? You should put it in a code, especially when it's had to do with string, right? When you want to make it a string, you wrap it in this quote, either double quote or single quote. It works, right? So it's not in all cases that you must compulsorily write double quotes. Sometimes you can write something like this. It still recognize it. It won't throw you any error. Let me do it on this line so that you can see it will not say any error at all, right? You can see that it doesn't put any red or the line or anything on this, okay? So you still understand it's either single whenever you want to use it, just understand what you are doing. You understand that? So back to Boolean. Boolean has to do with true or false. That is, the data type are usually true or false, and they are very important when you are scripting a lot of things, right? You are switching things around, and I will explain that to you real quick. When you talk about true or false, when it comes to computing generally, in computing generally, the the concept of true or false is it also boils down to zeros and one. Okay, computer, they understand zeros and one actually, right?
Mm.
So this the true means one actually, and the false means zero. So these three things I'm going to be relating them to you. True, false. True means what? One. And it also means on, like when you put on something, and you will notice on some of your devices, if you want to put them on, you see some button, some power button, you will see they'll put one, that's
Zero.
something like one or high. Then sometimes they might circle it like zero, then they'll put that one inside that zero, right?
Yes.
So
Mm.
it means, so when you say true means one or on. So you can treat two means. So now, let's say you are building an app, or you are building a software, and there is a place, maybe you have a toggle button. I don't know if you know what a toggle button is. That thing whereby you you go into some of your app and the main notification, then you go and toggle it off, right? That thing
Yes.
that used to slide ahead. So that thing is true or false, that powers that thing. Don't look for it any further. It's true or false that is behind it. When you turn it on, it means what? True. When you turn it off, it means what?
False.
False. So if maybe you are supposed to have verified your account and you've not, like some of these platform, like I think OPay, they be like you are tier one, tier two, tier three. The only thing they wrote there is verified. So for tier one, is it verified? For tier two, I say is verified. False is the front end developer that will now say it will check if the data of that person, it will check for a particular place on the data and see that, oh, is verified is false. That means it will not tell you that you are not verified yet. Let me show you something like that. I'll just quickly write a script like that for you. Let's say this is let me say const user profile now. Don't bother about this big thing. The only part I want you to pick out of this, I will show you, equals to, let's say, an object like this. Then name, you have the name of the person, saying, remember, name will always be a string. We just talk about string, so name should always be a string. Let's say Nelly, for instance. Now then, what's it called, what other data that we need? Email, just let me put email here, or phone number, phone, right? Your phone number too should be a string actually. Don't forget that, forget the fact that it's a number. You are saying phone number. It contains like long different things, and sometimes you have plus 234, 234. Then you put an hyphen, then you write 80 and stuff like that. So it should be treated as number. Then if you need since a phone number actually, you are not subtracting or adding or multiplying anything with the phone number. It's just a number. So you don't need to treat it as number. So let's say something like this, right? Then email. Let's say you have email, then your email, say mainly at example.com. This should be a comma here, for instance. Then here we can now have what's it called? I want to check if you are verified. So it's a verified user. So I can it will write something like this: is verified, is verified, false. Right? This is how it will be left in your database. So if your is verified now, is in false state. And remember, we said what? False, true or false, they are what? Boolean, Abi?
Yes.
Ah, good. So that tells us that your verification status now is what? False. So if I want to display an icon that shows that you are verified or not verified as a front-end person now, I will get this your data. I will look for your is verified. Is it false? Is it true or false? Once it's false, I will put that icon of not verified or something like that. Then if it is true, I'll put that check mark. You I believe you are used to that thing. Like once you are verified, they'll put that check mark, that green check mark, that
Yes.
mark, they'll put it there. Good. So that is especially once it's true. And remember I said true means one. So maybe you turn on you want to be receiving mail notification like inside your settings somewhere in the app. Then you want to turn on um what's it called, mail notification now, right? So
Mm.
you will toggle that button, right? When you toggle it on, you know, notification something like this. When it's saying true, that means you have toggled on the button, right? Then when it's saying false, by the time you slide that button back, that toggle back, it will send an update to this your data and say, you know what, this guy Nelly, he don't turn am off. Oh. Then it turns this, it will update this, and it will become false. You understand
No.
now? So
Yes.
we'll still get there. So we'll still get there. Don't worry. I just, you know, said that. So on whatever you see here, don't be scared or anything. What you need to understand is just this line where we are using true or false and all those things. You still get to understand all this big thing going on here later. Okay. So that's what's it called? The data type boolean. Okay. Then so it's usually being two states, either it is true or false. Okay. It is a switch. You can switch on your light, you can switch off your light. When you switch on your light, it is in the true. When you switch it off, it is false or one or zero, like that. Then we have another primitive data type that we call them null. Null. And I want you to pay attention to this. For the null, hmm, for the null
Mm.
means when you have something declared but it doesn't have any value. This one you might not really understand this now, like to in depth like that, until we start doing variable assignment. Okay. Now
Mm.
look at this my line 9 here. Okay. Let's say I came here, I did let my word, then I didn't say equals to anything. I just say let my word. JavaScript will not complain, to still accept it. But my word now, I'm not saying anything. It's just empty, right? I don't
Mm.
have anything as my word, right? It's just like me saying, sending you an empty email. I didn't compose any email, I didn't type anything. I don't even think mails send without writing anything there. It's because of content. The content has taken care of it, so that if you don't type anything, they will not allow you to send anything, because like you're just stressing their server. Why will you be sending empty things up and down? But let's say, for instance, I'm able to send something empty, just blank. So relate this null to blank. Like you have a mail, oh, it will show. It will show, especially maybe I think WhatsApp has that bug at a point whereby somebody will just send you an empty chat. It's not showing anything. Maybe your
Yeah.
friend want to look for your trouble, they'll just send you, when you open it, you won't see anything there. It's just blank, right? So see this null like that, like You have it, oh, you have a chat or you have that variable, but it doesn't have any value, right? It's a blank email, and when it enters, you see that I have a mail. By the time you go and open it, it's blank. Nothing is there. That's null, right? Then the other one is what's it called? The other one is undefined or undefined. So for the undefined, right, it means that you don't even have it. It's not existing. That thing, that data is not existing. What do I mean by that? When we talk about null, I say you have a mail in your inbox, but that mail is blank. But what if in a case whereby you don't have any mail and you're saying, I have a mail, I have a mail. Oh, yeah, open the mail you have. Then you can't open anything. At that point now, it becomes what? Undefined. Like you don't have any mail. They didn't even send you any notification that you have new email, new inbox. And in your mind, you were like, I received a mail yesterday. Then, oh yeah, open your inbox. Show us the mail you received yesterday. Then, no mail is showing there. That's undefined because you're trying to make reference to something that does not exist. You're making reference to a mail you received yesterday, but you didn't receive any mail yesterday. So that's in a case of undefined. It's usually like I'm saying that undefined cases when you want to send money now to your friend, you've typed the amount, you've chosen the bank, but you've not put the person's account number. It's still undefined because you understand now. Why you sending field cannot be this field is important. You must fill in this input and all those things like that. So those are the things. Those are if you understand so far the primitive, the ones I've mentioned so far.
Yes.
Do you have any way? It's not
Your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking. I can't hear you very well.
do you have anyone
Your voice is cracking.
question, any comment? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So should we continue or you don't have any question?
I have question though.
Okay,
This
we are asked now.
this Java is almost the same thing to playground.
It's almost what?
The same thing with to playground. It's similar to playground. The element and the codes.
The element and the code is similar to playground.
Yes.
Which one is playground?
It's an app where it also uses Java too. But all I put it, it's like a programming app. Also, it's also now
Uh,
a programming app for Mac users.
mm, you it's not JavaScript you are saying. Oh. You mean the VS code,
Yeah, but it's similar to the what I'm trying to say. The
the
programming
code editor.
is similar to yes, it's similar to the playground.
Okay, okay. I don't know that's what we are trying to make reference to. So what we are using to write code is the code editor. So the playground and these are VS code is the same, is similar, right? Okay. I think I get you right now. Get you right. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Okay. Since there is no any other question, let's move on. Let's move on from there. So that is the way you have them. Okay, that's the way you have them. Then there's one last one which you may not be using that often. By the time you start coding proper and you are building projects, you are building solutions and the likes, which is the symbol. Okay,
Okay.
we don't use it that much. Okay, it's not something you're using often, which is the symbol. Okay, symbol, and you can relate to that as a unique identifier. So their symbols are unique identifier actually, and it was introduced in ESCs. Formerly, we don't there's no what's it called, data type of symbol in the early versions of JavaScript. It's got introduced in ESCs, and we all are still currently writing ESCs. Okay, so that's the latest generally accepted JavaScript that everybody's still writing for now. The ESCs version. Okay, so we have symbol there, and you know what symbols are, like your normal symbols and the likes. Okay, so then let's touch on the reference data type, so that reference data type, which stack is it, front end you want to learn, back end, or full stack development, or mobile app development?
Front end for now.
Okay, front end for now.
Mm.
So so that I will know how I'll be relating with you as to the things that will bothering you with. Let me not be bothering you with things that has to do with server side, which is backend and the likes. So the reference data type is basically, is basically or primarily actually primarily object. And I've been doing something which I feel is, it shouldn't be strange to you. You will notice that I've been kind of writing, but I start them with that double forward slash, and I believe you should have an idea of what that means.
Yeah,
Comment
it's the beginning of any elements.
those lines so that it's not throw error, because they are just like normal typing out stuff. It's not like an actual code for the computer to execute. You have that in HTML too. Even
Yeah.
in CSS, you do commenting and all those things, right? So object, they are the reference data type. Where is an object? What is an object? The object, an object could be object, actual object itself, right? JavaScript is kind of funny and tricky, but once you get the check, you will not struggle with the JavaScript. This is this object now. There are a lot of things that you can treat as object. Object is this guy. In fact, in JavaScript, anything that has property, hmm, anything that has property, any data type that has property, it becomes an object. It's an object, and you can apply a method on it. I will explain that, what I mean by that. So we have object itself, we have array, call something array. I will still explain what those guys are. Array, then function. You can also treat functions as functions. Okay, you can also treat functions as what's it called? You can treat functions, array, objects. You can treat them as data type of objects. Okay, so you will question, or you pose that, why will I type of object, and inside the example of that type of that falls into category of objects, I'm still having object. I will explain. all these you can treat them an object because they have properties that comes with them. That's why we call them objects. But even objects itself has property that comes with it like that. So example of object is what.
Hello? 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 IT Skill Center. Has it gone? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I had the network or what's it called? The network broke at a point. So I was explaining the concept of objects, right? How do you understand or identify objects? So I think the best way we do go about it, or the best to take to understand array first before you go to object. Okay, so you understand array first, then we now do object. Okay, that's how you can understand it better. So with array, I will just brief them because we'll still come back to them like proper. But I just want to teach you today, get you to that point whereby you can recognize these things when you see them, like, okay, I know, that's an array there. You understand now? Even though you might not really necessarily know how to work with them for today, but by next class, of course, you will start getting better. And the true way you can evaluate yourself is each day is your success is, when you today is better than you yesterday. What you know today, you know more than what you know yesterday today. Then you are making progress. You are growing. You understand? So an array, to understand or to recognize array in JavaScript, we have two basic or three basic things I normally teach people. One is an array. These are the properties. One, it has or it is bounded by square brackets. This bracket is bounded by square brackets. This is the square bracket. This 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 guy on your mark. I believe you're on a mark. That key beside your P, your letter P. Those two keys after your letter P before the forward slash, backward slash. You've seen them, right? So it will be bounded. So inside of it, you now have, let's say you have a collection of fruits now. So one way I want you to be seeing array is more like a box. Okay. So if you have a fruit box where you have collection of box, you put all of them inside one fruit or inside one package, right? So you can now have items inside that box, Abby, or inside that carton, whichever way you understand it. You have items inside that carton that contains fruits. So let's say you have apple none, for instance. Then you have let's say you have oranges or orange. Then you have say you have banana, and the likes like that, right? So you have orange, we have apple, orange, banana, right? Inside that box. And there's no way you can come and write collection and say these are my collection. You put them inside array, right? Let me give you another scenario and I will relate it to a practical real life instances where this thing is at work. I'll give another array example here, collection of items, right? That contains collection of items. You go on your Jumia or Gigi or AliExpress, right? Then you order for sneaker. Let's say you order for what's it called now? Nike, on Nike sneaker like that, right? Then same on that same AliExpress, you saw another shirt that caught your attention. Abi, you saw another shirt that caught your attention. Let's say you saw a what's it called now? Balenciaga shirt or whichever designer you like. Shirt now, you added it. Abi, you added it to the cart. You call something cart because it's carting. You say add this item to cart, add that item to cart. Your cart is an array. Nearly, your cart is an array. So inside the cart now, you throw the Nike stuff. You throw it inside the cart. You move again. You go to another page. You saw Balenciaga shirts. You throw it inside the what? Um, Let me remove the brand name. I think that would be the best thing. Let's just put sneaker here. You put a sneaker there. You put a t-shirt. Then another one. You saw a nice what's it called now? Cap. You put a cap in there, right? So inside your cart now, by the time you want to check out, they will list out all the items that you have you have added to cart, Abi, that you're trying to buy, isn't it? So while you were, going up and down on the site looking for those items, going here and there, trying to shop all those things, you're adding them to cart. you're actually adding them to an array. Your cat in the actual sense, by the time the way they wrote the code, the cat is an array. You understand? So by the time you click on the first item, you say add to cart or buy now, then you go again, you see related items, you add it again, and it's now popping up on one side and saying you have three items in cart, you have this, you have that. It's an array. So show you that let me show you that. We'll open a tab for let's go on Jumia or AliExpress now. Sorry, man. Okay. So let me switch the tab so that you can actually see what's it called.
Programming something.
Who is teaching you that?
ITskillsCenter
Where?
at Ikeja. Yeah, no. Oh, my data don't finish. Hello? Hello? Mr. Ima?
Yeah, mechanic herself. You go and collect oil from this woman. Because it's not around.
I don't know if my data has finished or what. I'm not
number.
seeing. It has to.
If you can still see my screen now, you can see sorry for the network issues. So I'm on. Can you see the AliExpress page I am on now? Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm also coming up with you, so.
You cannot see my screen?
Yeah, but I will not coming up with you. Network just ceased.
Okay. Don't worry. Let's just take this, and after this we are done. So let me just show you one or two. Okay. So I want to show
Okay.
you. I was explaining something about array, right? And I said when you go on your shopping platform and all those related platforms like that, it's actually an array they call cart. That cart is actually an array. So now I believe you can see the screen I'm projecting, this AliExpress screen. On the right hand corner here, you can see cart that wrote zero for you see zero, then it says zero cart kind of thing here, right? Can you see that?
I'm seeing it.
Now, so let's say I just go around the platform and I start adding things to to cart. Start adding to things to cart. I have you can see the cart icon again here. I see this small mobile phone now. Once I press this this place I'm bringing my mouse over now. As I press it and come back up here and check my cart, you will see that one item is there. So they've just simply put one item inside my array. So mobile phone, let's say mobile phone now, right?
Mm.
Mobile phone,
Uh,
I've added that. So if I come back up here under US, what is this one showing? I think it's network that is making this load one after the other. But we'll get to understand what. So let me just click again now and see. Once I click on that add to cart, it should put the item inside the cart for me. Let's just wait for it a moment, then I'll go inside the code and show you what is happening. You can see now I have that AirPod, right? That I've added. It said add to cart. I click on add to cart here. Then
I'm not seeing
what's in
anything
being,
now.
you're not seeing anything.
I'm not. Yes,
My screen
it's
is not showing.
like it's showing, but it's seized.
It's frozen.
Yes,
Okay. What about now? Is this moving now?
it's moving a little. It's moving a little.
So let me try and add it over again. I add this mobile phone, or let me just add this guy. I add it to cart. So I say add to cart here. Now if I check my cart icon here, it should actually update to 1. It should update, it should change from 0 to 1 because I already added one item to cart. So it will update to, so what will happen inside the code is this. So I will leave this page now. But let me just add one more thing. Then I will leave the page and go back to our code. Then on this one also I'll say add to cart now. So what will now happen is this. So let me switch my tab back to the code editor. So my shopping array, the first time I added the first item, all I will have inside will be that mobile phone. Mobile phone. Then by the time I pick up that projector and I click on the add to cart button, it automatically push that projector into this array. Then it will include it projector. So that's my cart now is an array. It's a collection of item projector. It's a collection of what item, and these items they has name, and I say stuff like name, sentence, and words like that. You treat them as what as string. Remember, I said something about string earlier that your string the reason why this object is called reference type is because inside of them we'll be seeing some primitive data type. Now you can see inside of array where we have let me say I can even do my let my cart now do that way, or my carted item anyone. My cart equals to mobile phone and what projector, right? But you can see that this mobile phone is in a quote, right? Then this projector is also
Yeah.
in a quote. But all of them, two of them now, I joined them together. I bound them inside that square bracket to make them into array, right? I said array has two properties, abi. They always have square brackets, right? Then the items inside of it, they are always separated by comma. The first item, by the time the second item is coming, I'll put a comma to separate it to show that okay, these are list of item one, item two, right? Then the yeah, those are just basic things, depending on what you want to have there. So the data inside it now, it could be a number, it could be array, it could be boolean. Sorry, it could be of an array, yeah. It could be boolean and the likes like that. The basic thing that you need to know for now about array, we'll still do more about it. Then we have object and function, which I may just we'll be touching in the next class. We'll be moving to those ones in the next class, and we'll be advancing our learning from there. Okay. Then so I want you to ask a question, anything that you feel like it's not clear, or you still want to, you want to me to share more light on and all like that. So I'm listening to you with for a question and all. Do you have any question?
Yeah. This equals to sign. Is it a must? We must use it, or can't we use any
Yeah.
other this apart from?
This equals to sign I'm using here. We'll still get there, but let me. It means you are doing what variable assignment, right? So if you don't put this equal to, like, how do I know what is that going on here? So normally when you say something they are equal to each other, that means they mean the same thing. But here now we are saying, you see this my card, right? I want to use it to reference this guy. This is my data type. Okay, so this equal to that I saying here, you can say I use that equal to say, oh, user profile equals to this object that contains the details of the user. Abi? So what's going on here is that, how do I reference user profile? That means that when I call on this user profile, I cannot be calling on this data every time I need it. All I just need to do is call this in. Just put this user profile in my code, then I will have it. Something like this. Instead of me now, maybe I've written plenty code, I've gone down, then I need user profile. I can just do something like console log user profile like this, right? Then if I run my script, I should see a log of it. I should see a log of what's it called? Of the user profile. Yeah. Let me just open a new terminal. Then into main that's it with auth. Okay. Then I can cd into this. Then I can do script. Sorry, node script or just
Um.
rather. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
So any challenge? Are you having any challenge there?
I'm having challenge, big challenge. I'm running out of
Okay,
data,
what?
please.
And we're almost done. We're almost done. This is the last thing. I'm treating your question. Once we're done with this, we are done here. Okay.
Okay.
So um so let me just run this script. It's not actually saying my script for a reason why I don't know. Anyways. So this will come, this object user profile will come in the, okay, I know what's happening. I've not saved the work actually, sorry. I've not saved since we started. Now you can see my log here, I have Nelly and everything details that he has here. So that is why we are referencing it. So just see it as if you have a birthday, you took your birthday picture, right? By the time you want to save inside your file, you have to name it like, oh, my birthday 2017 picture. You understand that kind of thing? So that is what this guy actually doing. We are trying to hold it in a memory space so that what we are saying, okay, this is what the way that we use to reference that memory space I'm using to hold this data. So by the time I need this data, I don't have to call on this, but rather I'll call on this reference name then to bring my 2017 birthday picture for me once I call on my 2017 birthday picture. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's just it. You get to understand more, don't worry. So that's where we'll be stopping for today. Continue from there in the next class and fire on. I believe you'll be able to learn one or two. Snell is still there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
After saving
after
this work,
saving it, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you run this in your Chrome browser.
Can you what?
Can you still run it in your Chrome browser to show?
You can run it in your Chrome browser, of course. Just attach it to HTML file. You know how to attach JavaScript to HTML file.
Um, the
Just
document
create
dot
HTML.
you
No,
link
like
it.
just link it in your HTML section like this. Let me quickly show you. I promise
Is
you
it
that we are done already.
link rel?
Let me quickly show you. Say you have your script like this, right? Just create inside the same file. Just create another file inside the same folder. Create another file. Name it maybe index.html, right? Then this your index.html here now. You can do something like this. Boom. Then in the body section here or in the head section, whichever way, you can do script like this. Script. So you link the script to it. Then it says source. Sorry, this should be src equals to, then that should be your what script. Just take your script.js and put it and link it like this. Scripts or whatever name you have used for it, right? Script.js, use it for it. This is how you write it, this line that you have here, right? Just put it in the body. So I can just write h1 here. Let's say h1 for instance, and linking, let's say linking right, linking JavaScript. Sorry, linking scripts. Let me just save it like that because of time. Then if you open that in the browser now, you can now access, you will now you open this doc, this HTML in your browser, then through that you can now access your script in your console, that kind of thing. You understand now? So you can now do document or write or whatever you want to do. So another way you can go about it, we started with just the script, whatever. So all the things we have inside here, let's say you want to try this guy out now, right? Just copy it, bring it inside the script tag, or if you are not linking the script, there are two ways. Maybe you don't want to go the advanced route, just put the script directly inside your HTML. All those things that we write inside the script, you can put it here as well. So you can do something like this. Or let me do it. Let me not cancel this. Sorry. So we have this guy, we have this guy, and we remove this guy from here. Then this is not necessary since we want to write it direct. So you just wrap it in a script tag here, then you can put this, it will work, right? Then you can also do document.write or whatever you want to do. Document dot you can do code document.write. So I've not taught you about document.write and all those guys, but it's just simple document object method. Document.write. Then my cat, my cat, my cat, right? That's something like that. So by the time you load this in your browser, you should see my cat in your what's it called, your page. Okay, you see that in your page. You understand now? Do you understand? So that is how you go about that particular one. So yeah, I think with that we have come to the end of this class. Of course, we will still meet in the next class. For anything you try out, you don't get, you can always come back and ask question, bring it up. We look into it together and we are hearing it out. Okay, we are here to build solutions. All right. Do have a nice night.